have to take your off days well and do a lot of recovery and move your body and still stay strong. I think the weight room is super important right now. Just keeping your body healthy, and for me, filling up my downtime with doing extra work. I think that's the best thing you can do, where the game isn't the hardest thing you're doing all week. Your more practice isn't the hardest thing, because you're able to callous your body to push it hard enough throughout the week to where it's nothing. Shout out to Hunter Wooler.
Cam, maybe someone has brought this up, but in general, as a secondary, what problems do tight ends create?
They're just really versatile. I think the way that they can create extra gaps in the run game, but also be a threat in the pass, and especially if you have a pass-catching tight end, that makes things tough too, because they can either block and they can run routes and be mismatched against linebackers. So I think tight ends are an underrated position in the league, but they're super important.
Pittsburgh's got a few.
Exactly. We gotta do our thing against them.
Is that kind of what you see with Tyler Warren, what he can do to defense?
Exactly. Yeah, he's the exact person I was thinking about when I was explaining that. He can run. He can block anybody on the field, and he can also go up against corners and be able to beat them in coverage, go against safeties and beat them in coverage. So
is the size, the speed, or is it all of that?
It's everything, but it's not even speed. It's the lack of speed for tight ends that we're so used to covering the fast guys, to where when tight ends are tempoing us, it's tougher to cover them because they move a lot slower at their tempo, and they big body, so they can be able to get a body catch and box you out.
How much are you looking forward to this matchup on Sunday, going against one of the best to ever do it in Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, as a competitor, this is what you live for, being able to go against people, especially, historic franchise like the Steelers, the head coach. There's a lot of history over there, but we're not playing against history. We're playing against the guys that have to strap it up against us. And Aaron Rodgers, he's fun to play with. I have a lot of history against him with my years in Minnesota. And so I'm excited to play against him. And it's always a good challenge.
Are you amazed to see what he's still able to do here? I mean, he's played for so long, and still we've seen throughout this year that he's played at a high level at times.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for him. Just the way that he's been able to stay healthy over the years, still be doing it. I think, 21 years in now, and just being able to still have the arm talent that he does and still be super effective in every really area of his game. So we have to go out there and compete hard against him, and go out there and try to make all his strengths not as strong.
What does the Steelers offense do well?
I think they're a complete team. They can run the ball. They're solid receivers, and also, obviously, the quarterback, he runs the whole engine. So I think having a veteran quarterback is super important, being able to, just recognize things and make the certain play calls that he has to make.
I feel like week after week this defense has made incremental steps to get to where you are trying to go.
Yeah, and we're still not where we want to be yet, but I think we've grown every single week, and especially every single week growing together, learning the things that we need to fix, and learning, figuring out the things that we want to master, and the things that we're not as good at, we want to be able to get those to become strengths.
How good of a test is this going to be for y'all? I mean, not just going against the Steelers, but that hostile environment as well. We know how rowdy those fans can be. How big of a test is it going to be for you?
Every week is a test. It's the NFL, so we don't look at any opponent bigger than the other. We know every game. If we don't do our thing, we can go out and lose. But if we play like we're supposed to, we'll go out and win. And that's a confidence that we have to have. But every single week in the NFL is going to be a test.
Cam, Shane was talking about points off takeaways and takeaways.
November is typically the time when the elite teams start to separate themselves. I know it's tough to find many weaknesses when you guys are sitting at 7-1 and the way that you guys have been playing. But as a defense in particular, where do you guys look to continue to improve going into this weekend?
Obviously, you want to be better situationally. I think, being better in the red zone was something that we really worked on earlier in the season. I think we saw some improvement there. Probably just getting off the field more efficiently on third downs, especially third and long. Just making sure we, win all those situations. So it's been cool to get off to a high start, but there's a lot for us to clean up and continue to work on, so we're going to keep pushing.
You've faced Aaron Rodgers a number of times in your career. What stands out with him now with the Steelers?
I just feel like he's in a situation where he's comfortable. I think the last few years he's been uncomfortable, and I think that's where some of the issues kind of arouse. But, obviously we know the type of coach Mike Tomlin is. He gets all those guys to buy in, believe, and they're going to be a tough team. So we got to make sure we're ready.
So high priority on making him uncomfortable on Sunday.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's our goal for sure.
You guys have given up a lot of yards, clearly, but the points, I think you're 6th in scoring defense. How do you square it all? You're trying to win, right? So ultimately, how you look at it?
No question. Yeah, I feel like, I do think, there was a game or two where I think the yards may have been leaky. But I think for the most part, a lot of it, we got big early leads. We are holding people to very little points, and our offense is scoring a lot. So at a certain point, you're just trying to extend the game, So them getting 5-yard completions, congratulations. I know it makes everybody's QBR look good, but it don't necessarily mean that you were successful because you're down 20 points. So, but again, we could obviously be better. Continue to keep our foot on the gas and continue to execute at a high level. Obviously, we got a huge test coming in with a Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers.
You played in a lot of stadiums and a lot of different crowds, but we know in Pittsburgh that crowd can be pretty rowdy. As a player, as a defensive player, how much are you looking for that opportunity to go on the road, and how big of a test will it be for you guys?
I've been there several times. I played there almost every year since my freshman year at Syracuse. So I know all about the towels. I know all about everything they got. It's okay. I know about the field. I've been in all the locker rooms. Obviously it's a tough team. Obviously their backs to the wall. We know what they're going to come out with. We know that the standard that city demands. They hold themselves to a high standard, so we know they're going to be coming out ready to play. But I think we're going to be ready to play too. So.
Particularly with Aaron Rodgers, what do you feel like it takes to make him uncomfortable? A guy like that that's been here for so long and he's done so well.
Man, obviously, he's seen every coverage. He understands how the pressure points of a defense. DK is obviously an extremely talented receiver. But I feel like in any team, regardless of how good the quarterback is, if you make a team one-dimensional, you got a good chance of playing good ball against them. So I think everything always starts with stopping the run, and you get after them in different ways, whether that's pressures or different coverages, and then taking the ball away always works.
What are you seeing about how they try to attack the tight ends?
Yeah, they do a great job. They got 3 really talented tight ends. A lot of respect for those guys. They all block too. I think that's one of the biggest things. They all put their nose in and get after it. One of them is obviously way bigger than the rest. They can attack you vertically. Obviously, I know John New from Miami. He's a red zone threat, screen threat as well, and had an opportunity to play against the both of them before too. So, extremely talented tight end room. But like I said, it all starts with stopping the run.
What does Braden Smith mean to this team? And we all know the tough stuff that he went through last year. He told me he was in a much better place this year. So just seeing that joy and seeing him perform this year for you. Man,
I feel like Braden's been a huge difference on our team. We've came in together, going through a lot of different situations together, and when he's on the field, that's when we got our best 5 out there. Having a guy like him to go up against these top rushers like Max Crosby, like T.J. Watt this week, he's a difference maker, and I know a lot of guys on that O-line don't get the credit they deserve, but I think he's playing at a high level.
See, I think the nature of takeaways is kind of complementary. If the offense doesn't score, then it's not as important, but your offense seems to be scoring a lot off takeaways. How energizing is it for the team to not just get the takeaway, but to see points on the board right after?
It's complimentary ball. You want to, put the offense in the best position. Obviously, we've watched them go 90 yards several times and go score a touchdown or put points on the board. But, giving them the short field, giving them the plus 50, giving them the red zone immediately, obviously, Danny and JT are going to take advantage of that. So, and it even on our side, it's been games where rarely they did turn the ball over, and we were able to get a turnover right back, So, that's the type of plays that we were able to make this year that we have been struggling to make the last couple of years, and I think it's been a difference in our team.
It's very rare in the NFL to see teams locked in the way you guys have been, like every single game. No blowouts, always in it. Take us through it. Where does that come from with this team right now as far as the leadership with you guys?
First and foremost, it starts with Shane. I feel like he will never let up. It starts from him. He's pushing us and holding us to the highest standard every single day. And we got guys in this league that have really been through things. Myself, Kenny, DJ, JT, guys have Billy Mooney. Guys have really been through things, the highs and lows of this league. We don't take none of this for granted. And we understand what it's about, like you said, playing your best ball, November, December, and January. So we all pushing, man. We just trying to be the best versions of ourselves every single day. And that starts with winning the day on Wednesday. So.